Hello, podcast listeners. You are now listening to the Coffee, Health, and Science podcast. I'm your host, Jordan River, and I want to thank you for tuning in today. We have resident coffee expert, Dr. Coffee, on the line. How you doing, Dr. Stephen Hellshine?
Hey, it's another day above ground drinking coffee.
What could be better, man? I got my purity going. What's going on in your world, man? What's going on in the world of coffee? What's new with coffee and health?
So, you said what could be better. So I have something better than just drinking coffee.
Hit me.
Okay. Do you know who is a famous composer that loved coffee so much, he actually wrote a symphony about coffee?
Chopin, I believe it was.
Wrong.
Where's the buzzer noise? See, I went with the confidence to really try and sell it, but didn't work out there. Who was
I am
that?
sitting back. I am sitting back here drinking my purity coffee and listening to Johann Sebastian Bach.
Wow.
His coffee cantata.
Wow. I feel like I should have known that. Stumped.
I know, right? And you know what, Jordan River? We are going to have fun today because I have a bunch of facts about coffee that I've been working on. I'm working on, you can't be called Dr. Coffee without having your PhD in coffee, right?
Absolutely.
So working on the coffee as a medicinal herb book and working on being able to say I'm a PhD in coffee. I've been working on fun facts about coffee.
Love it, man.
And so today I wanted to share them with you, and we're gonna have fun doing it because I'm gonna ask you questions you never knew about coffee. How about that?
I'm ready to go, man. I'm game. I'm a gamer, so I'm ready to crush this thing and take home the gold.
Okay, we'll start with a couple easy ones, just to ease you into it. So, as far as traded commodities go in the world, tell me where coffee stands.
I'll do a little thinking music for the listener to lock in their answer. I believe it's number 2 behind oil.
Hey, look at you. Crude oil is first. Coffee is number 2.
Jeez.
And it's worth $100 billion worldwide.
Jeez.
And, anybody listening to this podcast, take out a sheet of paper, write down the answers, see if you can get some of these answers. So, question number 2, Jordan. Which state in the country or states grows coffee?
Hawaii? Can you give me like a total number? What am I supposed to reach here? This stuff, California, I'd imagine.
One. One. So the only state that's been able to grow coffee because of their proper conditions with high altitudes, tropical climate, and very rich soil is Hawaii.
Wow, that's surprising. I followed up with California because I thought for sure, but high altitudes, tropical climate, I guess that makes sense.
California, some of the farms have started growing some bushes. I went on a tour of a couple of them. They're not really production farms. It's more like a little hobby right now.
Right.
They'll stick to wine.
Great wine country. No, but that's interesting
That's
though.
right.
Only Hawaii. Awesome. All right, I'm 2 for 2 here. Kind of.
You're doing good. Okay. Where was coffee first found? What country? What year, so to speak, and by whom?
I believe it was discovered by Ethiopian goat herders who saw their goats eating beans and getting hyperactive. Maybe it was South American, but I'm going Ethiopian, and I don't know when. When was it discovered? I don't know. 1776, the same year that America was founded.
You're doing fantastic, man. It was coffee goat herders who saw their goats being more active and it was in the 1500s,
1500s. Okay.
and they shared their findings with the local monks, who they gave the beans to, and the beans for these Ethiopian monks made them feel like they were more religious and they could pray longer. So they started spreading the word to the civilized world.
Wow. Ethiopian
How do you like
monks.
that?
I love it. I love it, man. All right, I'm on a roll here. I'm gonna sweep it.
What country in the world produces the most coffee?
Oh man, I should probably know this. Huh? I'll just go with my gut and say Colombia. Oh, brutal.
Brazil.
Brazil. Okay.
Okay, so here's an interesting fact about Brazil. They couldn't afford to send their Olympian athletes to the 1932 Olympics. So the government gave them a bunch of coffee and told them that the only way to finance their trip was to sell the coffee on the way to the Olympics.
What?
So the boat was laden with coffee, and they stopped in all these ports and they sold coffee, and that's what financed their trip to the Olympics.
Wow, man, that is fascinating stuff. Good, it's worth its weight in gold, man. It's like its own currency.
It is. It is like its own currency. In fact, when you talk about currency, so what does divorce and coffee have in common?
It's a great projectile to throw at your husband. Coffee drinkers probably divorce less. My guess is that coffee drinkers divorce less.
So in ancient Arab culture, a woman could only divorce her husband if he didn't like her coffee.
What? Now, how often do you think that came up as a... He
So
says he likes it,
currency.
but I know his face.
The only way to buy your way out of a divorce is if your husband said, I don't like your coffee, then you could divorce him.
Wow. I would have never gotten that one. Hit me again, though. I'll get the next one.
Okay, we'll go to a different country than Arab culture. We'll go to Italy. Italy, the home of espresso. Okay, where did the Italian word espresso come from?
I have no idea. Something with pressing?
So it means forced out.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
So the espresso is made by forcing very hot water under high pressure through finely ground compacted coffee through the water. It's called forced out, which in Italian is espresso.
I love it.
Okay, next question. Besides putting it into a thermos jug, what is another way to keep your coffee warm?
Coffee enema.
No, but I got called yesterday by somebody wanting to talk about coffee enemas. They're on a pancreatic cure diet from a Dr. Gonzalez, I think it is, in New York, and he recommends coffee enemas as part of his cancer therapy.
Yeah, anti-cancer protocol. We have Dr. Aaron Ernst coming on the show, detox specialist, going to talk about coffee enemas a little bit. Interesting stuff with the way the hemorrhoidal nerve works. Definitely some interesting science there.
I tried it once, but I had too much sugar and it was too sweet for me.
Jesus, Dr. Steve. Hilarious.
But let's go back to how you can keep your coffee warm besides the coffee.
Yeah. Hit me.
You add cream to it. And cream will keep your coffee 20% longer for 20% more time.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
How do you like that?
I love it.
Fact.
I could do this all day. What else you got?
So, coffee. Is it a bean, plant? What is coffee?
I think it's a fruit.
It is a fruit. Look at you. It grows on a bush. It's a berry, which makes it a fruit.
I gotta make sure I get some of these right, man. My bosses are gonna be listening to the show. This kid doesn't know anything about coffee. All right. I'm doing pretty good then. I think I got 2 wrong so far.
You are doing great. You really are. Let's talk about decaffeinated coffee.
Okay.
Is it truly decaffeinated?
No, there's still a very small amount left, correct?
That's correct. So decaf coffee, regular coffee has about 3% caffeine. So there's still caffeine in decaf coffee. There's 2 processes for decaffeinating coffee, a chemical process and a process called Swiss water. Chemical process uses chemicals and leaves a residue. Try not to do that. Swiss water process does not use a chemical decaffeination process. What's done with all that caffeine that is left over from the decaffeinated coffee?
That is a fantastic question. I can only imagine that it gets repurposed into like NoDoz or something, or some sort of 5-hour energy.
There's somebody who buys it. There's a big buyer.
Wow. What does it look like? Like powdered caffeine? Like here's your like kilo of caffeine. Like I wonder what that.
Exactly.
Wow.
And you know who buys it? Coca-Cola.
Whoa.
Coca-Cola is the major repurchaser of of caffeine from decaf processing.
To just add right into their soda to get it to the desired peppiness level.
Exactly.
That is fascinating stuff.
Okay, now I got another question. Are you having fun with this?
Dude, I'm having so much fun. Bring it on.
Okay. So which would you rather have? A coffee for a year, drinking coffee, or an iPhone X?
Hold on. This is like an objective quiz? This is a personal preference thing. Let's see. Personally, I got to go with the coffee. I'm not a big fan of staring at my phone.
So do you know why I compared those two?
Why did you compare those two? Because it's the same price.
Yeah, because the average American spends about $1,000 a year on coffee.
Wow.
About $20 a week, which is pretty close to the cost of a new iPhone, right?
Wow. And if you think of the joy level, that coffee, it's up there. It's up there. I love it.
Yep. Well, you're doing really great. So here's the next question. Tell me, what are the 2 types of coffee?
2 types of coffee? You mean like Arabica and Robusta?
There you go. Arabica and Robusto.
Robusto. Okay, sorry about that, yeah.
So what's the difference between them?
I know that they are 2 different, I don't know if they're different genuses or species or how that works, but the Arabica is more desirable, supposedly, for flavor and quality, and the Robusto is generally considered a lower quality coffee, though I've spoken with some people over at Purity that think that there are some very specific medicinal properties that Robusto carries. Did I get close there?
You did. You're doing just great. I'm really impressed. So originally cultivated in the Arabian Peninsula, that's how Arabica got its name. And it is the more desirable because the flavor notes are better on it. However, Robusta is more hardy, so it's easier to cultivate, and it contains double the amount of caffeine.
Oh, wow. So bitter and strong.
Yep,
Old
bitter
school,
and
man.
strong.
I love it. I love it. How many more you got here? Keep them coming.
Yeah, you want to keep going?
I do, man. Let's keep it going here.
Okay. Have you ever heard the term fair trade coffee?
I have.
Yeah, so Purity Coffee makes a big deal about fair trade coffee. Fair trade coffee improves quality. But what's the real value of fair trade coffee? Why is it important?
Isn't it about the compensation that the farmers are receiving?
It is not only the compensation, so that's a great guess, but it's also what they've been able to do with it. So I've got a little known fact that the small farms who are compensated more fairly for the sale of their coffee spend about 25% more to uh, produce and give a phenomenal quality to coffee. And over the last 3 years, they have won 28 Great Taste Awards.
Wow.
So not only is it helping the farmers make a better living, but it's also producing enough good quality coffee that they've won 28 Great Taste Awards.
Awesome. Just stepping it up in general, which results in a better product. I guess it makes sense.
Yep.
Ooh, love that delicious coffee.
Yep. So, next question. We talked about Brazil is the leading exporter and producer of coffee in the world. Where does most of it go to?
Here. No, not here. Europe. Where does it most of it go to? Oh, give me a second. I gotta wrap my head around this. I know that the Scandinavian countries drink the most, and like Denmark and all of those places, but just because they consume the most doesn't necessarily mean that's where it all goes. Does it all go to just China and India because that's where all the people are?
No, most of it goes to Europe. You should have quit while you were
Ah, gosh, should have gone with my gut. So most of it goes to Europe. All the Europeans are just drinking in it. Oh, because I guess you got more tea probably over there in India and China.
There are many reasons to it, but the major consumers of coffee in the world are Europeans. Second is United States. But you hinted at something, and we're going to give you an opportunity to get that right. So which of those countries, Scandinavian, you said, consumes the most coffee in the world?
I think I'm going to go with Denmark.
Beep.
Netherlands.
Finland.
I said Netherlands. Finland. Oh, Finland.
So
Scandinavian.
People from
That is
Finland
Scandinavian.
consume at least 5 cups of coffee per day.
Wow. I guess it's pretty cold, so you gotta. I guess that's the thing about the Europeans is they drink it all day. They drink it in the morning. They drink it after dinner. They drink it every time, every hour in between. I guess in America we got more soda going on. Yeah, it makes sense.
So when you say drink it in the morning, before coffee, what was the number one breakfast drink?
Liquor. Beer. I'm gonna go. No, I'm gonna go wine.
Beer.
Oh yes,
You got it.
Beer.
Beer.
Yes, that's how Jeopardy works. You say 3 really quick, and then Trebek exclaims the answer. Beer for breakfast. Okay, I guess so. Because I mean, it was like I know that it wouldn't get infected with like water was pretty dangerous back in the day. So I'd imagine beer was a pretty safe choice for a morning beverage.
Beer was the safe drink for a morning beverage, and the problem is it made you slow.
Right.
And so when the monks saw what coffee was able to do, it became very, very popular because it gave you a high, but it was an up high, not a down high.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And, with Finland consuming all that coffee, they must be peeing a lot. Is that right?
Probably. They got a lot of snow to pee in. What are you getting at?
What am I getting at? A little known fact about coffee. It is a very mild diuretic. In fact, you do not lose any more fluid than you take in with drinking coffee. You cannot become dehydrated with coffee.
Wow.
Most people do not know that. They think, oh, I drink my caffeinated coffee and it's a diuretic and I'm going to become dehydrated. Nope. It doesn't work that way.
Wow. Dr. Coffee coming to the defense of coffee with the coffee evangelism. All right, hit me with one more. Hit me with your best one, and then we're going to have to do another version of these down the road.
Okay, I'll hit you with one more. So, who are the big 4 coffee roasting companies?
Coffee roasting companies. I might be way off on this, but are you talking about things like Folgers, Maxwell House? Are those 2?
Yeah, but the parent companies, they buy 50% of all the coffee produced worldwide.
I don't know these people, man. Enlighten me.
Kraft, P&G, Sara Lee, and Nestle's.
Oh, wow. Jeez. And how much, what is their market share, you said?
50% of all the coffee produced worldwide from those 4 big names.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's a little bit frightening almost. Kraft and Nestle controlling half the world's coffee.
Yeah.
All right, give me one more. I got to win. I got to end on a win.
Okay, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, what was the name of the oldest living cat? How long did she live? And what was her claim to fame with coffee?
Her name was Espresso, and its claim to fame was that it, in fact, drank espresso daily, and that's why it lived so long.
You're close. Her name was Cream Puff. She lived to be 38 years old.
Jesus!
And she drank coffee every morning her whole life.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. That is the craziest thing I've ever heard. A 38-year-old coffee drinking cat. Oh my God.
So with that, I'm going to sign off. Dr. Coffee here, having fun with Jordan, talking about coffee facts and trivias.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Dr. Steve. This was a pleasure, my friend.
Take care. Have a great day.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next time on the Coffee, Health, and Science Podcast.